Welcome to the Midday News on Voice of the People TV. I am Masinachi Okafor. We begin with the headlines. Breaking news. The Federal High Court in Abuja stops CBN from releasing further financial allocations to the Rivers State government. Of course, Rivers crisis again. The Nigerians expresses concern over increase in price of PMS by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL. President Tinubu set to submit a medium-term expenditure framework. The Joint Action Committee of the Non-Academic Staff Union NAFSU reports that there is no official communication from the government regarding their ongoing strike. And in business, House of Reps moves to stop fraudulent deductions by commercial banks. Now the news in details. The Federal High Court in Abuja has issued a significant ruling restraining the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, from releasing financial allocations to Rivers State government until a lawful appropriation act is passed by a validly constituted House of Assembly. Justice Joyce Abdul Malik made this decision in response to a suit filed by the Rivers State House of Assembly led by Speaker Martins Amewule. The court found that Governor Similai Fubara's move to present the 2024 appropriation bill to a four-member assembly, which was not properly constituted, should not be allowed to stand. This ruling halts funding to the state until appropriate legislative procedures are met. This ruling follows the months of political turmoil within the Rivers State House of Assembly. The Court of Appeal in Abuja recently confirmed Amewule as a legitimate speaker, and Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court had nullified the 800 billion naira budget previously passed by the faction led by Edison Ehie. Of course, Governor Fubara had presented this budget proposal in December to a small group of assembly members after the assembly complex was demolished and access was restricted by court order, while the pro-Fubara lawmakers claimed the budget aimed to drive economic growth. The recent court rulings underscore the need for a properly constituted assembly to ensure lawful governance. Nigerians expressed outrage on Tuesday, that was yesterday, as the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, raised petrol prices again, barely 3 weeks after the last hike. The price in Abuja increased to 1,060 naira from 1,030 naira per litre, while in Lagos it rose from 998 to 1,025 naira per litre. This sparked a widespread criticism from the organized private sector, civil society organizations, and the general public. Also, meanwhile, data from the Nigerian Ports Authority revealed that a vessel carrying 20.1 million litres of premium motor spirit is expected to arrive at the Tinkan Island port, Lagos, today being Wednesday, October 30th, 2024. Experts fear that the recent price hike, the third between September and October 2024, could further increase inflation, which recently reached a 28-year high of 34.2%. And this comes as NNPCL continues to adjust fuel prices following the government's deregulation policy. Despite public outrage, NNPCL has yet to release an official statement on the latest increase. Meanwhile, Aliko Dangote, CEO of the Dangote Refinery, has urged marketers and the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPCL, to lift petrol from his facility amid ongoing fuel scarcity. Speaking at the State House of Assembly, Dangote stressed that his refinery, which can process 650,000 barrels per day, has adequate petrol available, but marketers are not picking up supplies. He clarified that as a producer, the refinery only handles production, not retail or distribution, and appealed to marketers to utilize local suppliers instead of relying on imports. Dangote highlighted the financial burden of storing unsold fuel, noting that the refinery incurs losses with every passing day. He assured that the refinery has the capacity to meet local demand if consumption rises to 55 million litres per day. The Dangote refinery, with a $20 billion investment, aims to cut Nigerians' dependence on imported fuel by leveraging its massive production capacity. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is set to submit the medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper to the National Assembly next week. The Senate Finance Committee is preparing to engage with key finance stakeholders in anticipation of this submission. The MTEF, a legally required framework, lays the foundation for a national budget guarding economic projections and policy. By law, it must be presented before the budget proposal. Senate spokesperson Yemi Adaramodu confirmed that the MTEF would be submitted, followed by the president's budget presentation. He assured Nigerians that the Senate is committed to thoroughly reviewing the 2025 budget upon submission. The House of Representatives has also expressed readiness to review both the MTEF and 2025 appropriation bill once they are transmitted. They stressed the importance of a meticulous review to meet the expectations of Nigerians, ensuring compliance with the January to December budget cycle. And of course, the federal government is expected to submit the documents promptly, as the legislative body emphasizes the need for prudent management of the nation's resources, as outlined in the Fiscal Responsibility Act. The Joint Action Committee of the Non-Academic Staff Union of Educational and Association Institutions, NASU, and the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, SANU, has reported that there is no official communication from the government regarding their ongoing strike. The unions began an indefinite strike on Monday over 4 months of withheld salaries, halting university activities nationwide. SANU's National Vice President Abdusolu Salam confirmed that informal contacts were made between the union and the government, but no progress has been achieved. However, the unions are demanding the payment of withheld salaries, improved remuneration, and allowances, and the implementation of the 2029 agreements. Moving over to politics now, the All Progressives Congress APC Women and Youth Council has protested recent appointments to the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, opposing the selection of the 2 male candidates. The group criticized the appointments for lacking federal character and gender representation. Protesters carried placards with messages rejecting the nominations, calling on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to reconsider. The convener, Jennifer Raymond, voiced concerns that both appointees, Minister Nentawe Gitawa and Executive Secretary Chief Ayuba Gafwan, are from the same state, which undermines balanced national representation. The council stressed that women and children, the primary victims of crisis, need their perspectives represented in leadership. They urged the president to appoint a qualified woman with a strong humanitarian background to ensure effective crisis management and gender balance in the ministry. And joining us to analyze these stories is Barrister Darlington Agamo, a political analyst and also a VOP in-house analyst. Good afternoon to you, Barrister.
Good afternoon, ma. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. There's been a breaking news about the fact that the CBN has been told to halt every monetary allocation to be given to Rivers State government. That's the person of Fubara, Fubara of Rivers State. And then questions have been on the lips of Nigerians. How would Rivers State fare? How would they be able to manage the affairs of the state, knowing fully well that no money is to be given to them at this moment by the court? Is this Nyesom Wike at work? Or what do you make of this story?
No, it is not wicked, the federal government.
Okay.
On what basis will you say that an elected governor should not function? I mean, look at it yourself. On what basis? I mean, an elected governor. If it is allocation to the local government chairman, it's a different kettle of fish. But you said Rivers State. That means you are talking of the entire Rivers State administrative echelon. It's wrong. You are now looking at the executive, the judiciary, and the legislator. When you say no allocation to Rivers State, without specifying and then demarcating whom you are talking about, you mean the government of Rivers State have been declared illegal. By which court and by who? My dear, this impunity is, in fact, is becoming so annoying, seriously. Very, very annoying. I'm not joking. This is one of the reasons why some of us are beginning to think that there is something wrong with these people in Abuja. I'm telling you. That is impunity taken too far. Impunity taken too far. So to whose benefit? You forgot that the Rivers State government is not about the Fubara. Because if you don't allocate funds to him, he will not be hungry in the next 100 years or somewhere, whatever. But the people of Rivers State, what happens to them? Remember that people are working in government offices. When you say no allocation, that the distribution should stop, I mean, what are you talking about? Okay, the man should now go to court again and start asking for the reason for.
So one of the reasons here was the fact that the bill that the 2024 appropriation bill that was presented was done among just 4 House of Assembly members. And then, of course, that's possibly the reason why it was, declared null and void. So, so what do you actually?
What are you talking about? You mean since this thing was done? Have you forgotten that this budget is about to expire in the next two months? Mm-hmm. So where were you all this while that this budget was passed by the lawmakers? You have forgotten that it was a court that approved that they should go on. It was a court. So where were you all this while? You have lost local government chairman election. You now remember that a budget had been passed long ago. Can you just imagine? They are just shopping for something to use against Fubara. Is it not because of this local government election that they lost? They never thought that Fubara would do what he did. I was thinking that they would declare the election illegal. Now it is a budget that the court approved. You now want to say they should not. Can you just imagine? I mean, this is illegality of the highest order. Which court declared it? What was the court thinking? A budget has been passed. Okay, let us even agree that yes, something was done wrong. Please, all the infractions committed by the federal government, which court has called them to order? All the illegality committed by Abuja, which court have called them to order, especially financial infractions. Spending money without approval by the National Assembly. Or is it not on record that people have been doing that? So which court have said because of that, the money of the federal government should not be given to them again? Can you just imagine? You have forgotten that the man that spent the money is not even the owner of the money. It is the people. For God's sake, it is the people.
So do you think that this is a fight against Rivers State government or a fight against Fubara? And how do you think that, apart from, okay, just react to that one first.
You see, they want to make Fubara look like a non-performer. They want to render him impotent.
But has he really been performing ever since this fight started?
Have you heard
went into office?
The people of Rivers State, have they said that Fubara is not working? No, have you had any such complaint that he's not working, he's not performing?
Well, some parts would say that a school of thought, some of them would say that he has not been working because it feels like he has been distracted from doing the actual work that he's meant to do because of the fight between him and the FCT minister.
Okay, fine. If you know that something is distracting him, then remove what is distracting him and see whether he will perform or not. You just said it that something is distracting him. Fine. It's a deliberate effort to make him not to perform. You say this wicked man. You say this wicked. Look, I don't want to say what I want to say, seriously. This is why our democracy can never move forward. And I will blame Tinubu for this. Tinubu, this matter is purely on your doorsteps. Somebody will come and defend him. After all, Tinubu is not the court.
So what would you rather have him do? You recall that there was a peace accord. At the time, there was a peace accord that was,
Leave that.
So what would you rather have the president do?
Tinubu should have called Wike to. There was no reason in the first place for Wike to interfere in Rivers State. Wike is not the only governor that left office now. On what ground will anybody say that Wike has the right to interfere in Rivers State politics, telling us about structure, his this and that? What kind of thing is this? What accord? All those things are illegal on its own, illegal. For you to call an ex-governor who has left office and call a sitting governor to make peace so that the sitting governor will now obey his godfather. What kind of nonsense is where is this in our constitution? Which godfather? Which structure? Tinubu tolerated this thing. When you call for that peace meeting, over what? No, on what ground will we interfere in river politics? That he's the one that created rivers, or that river state belong to him, or what? Don't tell me. If not for the money he stole in rivers, can he be proving, telling us that I bought from for this person, I bought from for this person, I did this, I did that? With whose money? Is that his money? I don't even know what EFCC is doing. So please let nobody come and tell me that there was a peace accord, this and that. Those things are rubbish. As far as democracy is concerned, he has worked and left office. Let him go and rest, like other governors who left office. Please, Peter Obi, since he left Anambra State, have you seen him? Even during the time of Willie Obiano, and even the time of Professor Soludo, have you seen Peter Obi go and say, "Oh, Governor, I came to greet you as the ex-governor"? But just look at this nonsense.
But we also have a lot of, politicians, the predecessors and their successors in, good terms. So what actually would make this whole thing go away? But then, before you answer
because Wike is demanding more than what Fubara can give. Didn't you hear what Fubara said? That Wike said he cannot sign any contract beyond 5 million, a governor. That he should be giving 25 billion every month from monthly allocation. What kind of rubbish is that? For what reason? All because this is the money. He wants to use this money to campaign for presidency. He just wanted Rivers treasury. For his useless political ambition. Can you just imagine? Just like other people that are supporting him are doing. So it is now your right as a former governor to now control your state and be dictating what you have. Is that what democracy is all about? Nigerians, answer me. What kind of nonsense? Is that how we are going to deepen democracy? So these are the things we are struggling for. Powerful men who can control whatever, who can own everything, who can dictate who will be and who will not be, who will die and who will live. Is that what democracy is all about? When some of us are saying that this democracy, it's better we look at it again. No? Let us know whether we are in a military regime or in a democracy. Let us know. Because even the military cannot be this arrogant.
So, Barrister, if let's say now that Fubara decides to turn to other sources of income to generate revenue for the Rivers State people, how do you think he should be able to do that?
Because yes, it once happened here when somebody wanted to create a fiefdom for himself. You created a local government that does not exist, that is not recognized. Of course, Abuja stopped the money of the local government to local government, not the money for the states. He stopped it. Then what they started taxing the people. Civil servants, their money was released and all that. So I think Fubara had to look inwards. Fubara had to look inwards to make sure that governance continues in Rivers. And then challenge this impunity in court. Let the matter go back to court, of course. Because it was the court that said that lawmakers, even if they are two, they must pass the budget. It's as simple as that. Was it Fubara that told the 27 lawmakers to defect, for God's sake? What exactly is going on in that state? You have left the party that brought you to power. So, because of that, then governance should remain standstill in Rivers until you now, at your own pace, at your own accord, at your own convenience, you will now come back. You have defected. So, what is the problem of Fubara here? The constitution says when you defect, you have lost your seat. The APC you went to, why didn't they receive you there? Did the Fubara come and tell you, no, you cannot defect too? No, tell me. If they are working ahead, let them go back to APC now and begin lawmaking there now. What is the problem here? Up to today, the court have not resolved that matter. But they are quick to tell the Fubara not to get your allocation again because a budget was passed, this and that. You remember that somebody in the Senate told us here that Tinubu is running two budgets. Ningi, they almost killed him.
Well, we're not sure about that.
But
and
that was what he said. Instead of them to go to court and resolve that matter, they now suspended him from legislative matters. The man said it. I was thinking somebody would have gone to court. Let the man come and prove himself. They suspended him and forced him to apologize. And then he came back to the house. The matter closed. Please, what kind of democracy are you running? Nigerians, are you not supposed? Is it not time we begin to ask us? Is it when they destroy everything that you are not going to say, we didn't know what is going on, no? We didn't know when this will happen, no? It has started with this impunity must be challenged. It must be challenged for God's sake. What kind of thing is this?
All right, Barrister, there is fuel hike again. I mean, the fuel hike has gone up again. The price in Abuja is said to have increased from 1,060 naira from 1,030 naira to 1,060 naira, and then in Lagos State as well. And then Nigerians are, on the edge again. But then also, this is just within how many weeks of, increment in the fuel price in Nigeria. Also, Dangote has said that marketers, people should come and purchase this fuel from his refinery. I mean, very soon, it was on the news yesterday that very soon, Nigeria will start exporting fuel to Ghana. And Dangote is begging marketers to come and purchase fuel from his refinery. How do you actually react to that?
Now, you see this fuel issue. The whole story has not been told. Because you and I was here when they were jubilating, Dangote Refinery, and I was against, I said, no, Dangote Refinery will not save you because the interest some people have in the oil industry will not allow Dangote to function. Besides, Dangote is a businessman. I said it. Nobody listened. Now it is playing out. Why would you Dangote be having meeting with the federal government to determine the price of his product? And why is it that nobody has come out today to tell us that this is the actual product of Dangote product, that is the fuel? Remember that the diesel, the kerosene and aviation fuel, nobody has uttered the word about those ones. And the Dangote is producing all of them. So why is it that all these other ones are moving smoothly? But this particular fuel, is what has been causing problems all over the place. Why? Because there are some interests. And those interests want their own interest to be protected before Dangote can now have a breathing space. That's just the simple reason. Is it not unimaginable that some people are going to import fuel now when Dangote have over 500 million liters that is dormant in his fuel tank? Is it not unimaginable? What foreign nation did you use to go and import that fuel? Is it not our own foreign nation that we are looking for? Without any excuse, without any explanation, and these things are going on. That means you have not had the last of this matter. As long as this corrupt arrangement between NNPC and Owando have not been explained to Nigerians, this increment will continue. because somebody's interest must be protected before you and I can go and buy fuel without any hassles. Unless that is done, forget it. The increment is still coming. Oh. We have not entered December, remember? Good. So you'll be expecting this fuel to cost 1,500 naira a litre.
Well, a lot of speculations have been on that that's the agenda to move it to 1,500 naira at least.
Good. So,
do you see that actually happening?
But why not? Why not? Why not? You see, when you are serving the God of Mammon, he is never satisfied with money. The more money you bring, the more money he will be asking from you. That is why they call it God of Mammon. He is never satisfied with money. I'm telling you. And I've said it before that there is a powerful evil force that have taken over Nigeria to make sure nothing works. A powerful evil force. And that force is not ready to let go until Nigerians wake up and say, we are tired of suffering. We are tired of deceit. We are tired of fraud. We are tired of what? Bad governance. The whole Nigeria. Except they rise up and challenge this evil going on.
But Barrister, Nigerians have taken to the streets to protest against this.
It's a few people who don't even, the people that even...
But they are Nigerians.
How many of them? I'm talking about the whole Nigeria.
So you'd rather the country shuts down to
go for a
protest?
How do you solve this problem? Didn't you hear a proverb in Igbo land that said, except you expose the rashes on your buttocks, it will not go away. Because shame will not allow you to be there festering. You cover it. You become. But when you expose it, what are you talking about? Except Nigerian come, all Nigerians, from west to north to east, south, everybody. Maybe that time the government know that the game is up. That's what is done all over the world. Though. It's not when you select a few people or one person will rise up and say revolution now, this and that. After 1 or 2 days, it will die down. They will arrest some people. When they see that the whole Nigerians have risen up, I don't know how many people will arrest. Which prison will you put them? Hold on. Which prison? You want to arrest them? And how will you carry them? With trailer or with ambulance? So it is that time that this problem will be solved, as is done everywhere in the world.
All right.
What are you saying? Before
we wrap up this segment, Barrister, there's a data from the Nigerian Ports Authority that revealed that a vessel carrying 30.1 million liters of premium, would land Lagos City today.
Even yesterday, the one carrying crude oil. Crude oil. Somebody imported crude oil into oh God, oh my. As if the one we have depleted. Can you imagine? Crude oil.
So does this mean we don't appreciate what we have home?
Have you ever appreciated it? Have you ever appreciated? And Nigeria is like this. Go and tell me one single opaque country that is in this sorry state. I mean, an oil producing state. Just show me one person. One country like this. That is in this sorry state. None of them except Nigeria. And except this bad leadership.
Well, Barrister, you talked about going to the streets and protesting and, making sure that our voices are being heard. But then the Joint Action Committee of the Non-Academic Staff Union of Educational and Associated Institutions, they have, gone on a strike. And they have reported that there is no official communication from the government regarding their ongoing strike, which started on Monday. The calls have been made, but there's no progress to that. So if we have these, organizations go on strike and then still the government, it feels like the government is not listening to their plight. How else do you answer these questions in the mind of Nigeria?
That is just a small, minute segment of the society. Senior Staff Association, how many are they in Nigeria? How many are they? They won't make any impact. Besides, they are demanding for the other half of their salary that you are owing. You are paid 4 months, remaining 4 out of the 8 months that they were on strike during Buhari's era. These other people you paid, do they have 2 heads? No, answer me. Did they have 2 heads? The academic staff, yes, you are taking, but these are senior staff association. Without those people, even activities in the university will be grounded.
But the government said they did not work, so no work, no pay.
Who told you? Who caused the no work? Who caused? If it is your look, when you are writing even agreement, sales and purchase agreement, you always keep force majeure. That means something outside your control, so something that made it impossible for you to implement the agreement. And it's outside the control, maybe natural disaster. But if it is something you cause, why should I now pay for it? You are the one who made them to go on strike. You are owing them. You are owing them. And they have demanded for the payment severally. You refuse to pay them. What do you expect them to do? To continue to work? Somebody will even ask them, so you people, are you mumu? Somebody is owing you for several months like this and you are still working. Don't you know what to do? And you know that the strike is a right under the labor law. It's a right. Is it not better they go outside than to carry a gun and say because they are hungry, they want to go and rob and see how to feed their family? Is that what you prefer? No, tell me. You are the one who caused the problem, federal government. Why did you not pay them? It is only if you have paid them and they're giving them what they rightly deserve and they see went on strike, that is when you can now surcharge them. It's as simple as that.
Thank you so much, Barrister Darlington Agomor, for being on the news analysis segment with us today.
Thank you, ma.
Right. You're still watching the midday news on Voice of the People TV. The federal government assures electricity will be restored to northern Nigeria within the next 3 days. These and more stories when we return. Stay with us. Welcome back and thanks for staying tuned. The federal government has announced that electricity will be restored to northern Nigeria within the next 3 days. This assurance was given by the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, who addressed the Senate Committee on Power in Abuja. He confirmed that power will be temporarily supplied through the Ugwaji-Makudi transmission line, covering roughly 80% of affected states. Efforts are ongoing to access and repair damaged lines, with security agencies providing support. Full restoration is expected in about 2 weeks. The outage began on October 22nd when key transmission lines were vandalized. In response, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has directed the military to secure repair efforts. The minister also labeled these attacks as terrorism, stressing that security forces will address them. Limited power supply is expected to resume by the weekend, while full repairs to the Shiroro-Mando line may take up to 6 weeks. Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule has highlighted that northern governors remain supportive of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, whom they backed strongly into office. His remarks come after the governors collectively opposed aspects of a federal tax reform bill recently submitted to the National Assembly by the Tinubu administration. In a communique issued on Monday, northern governors, led by Forum Chairman and Gombe State Governor Mahmudu Inuwa, expressed concerns over certain elements of the bill, especially those impacting the VAT distribution formula. They argue the current approach may create an imbalance, potentially disadvantaging northern states. Governor Sule clarified that the North seeks an equitable VAT distribution model, stressing the importance of fair revenue sharing across all regions to ensure every state benefits proportionately. The proposed reforms also include renaming the Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS) to Nigeria Revenue Service and exempting VAT on special oil and gas exports, alongside goods for humanitarian projects. Northern leaders, including traditional rulers, urge the National Assembly to consider these issues carefully, aiming to maintain regional balance and fairness. In a significant development, the federal government has urged states yet to implement the new 70,000 national minimum wage to begin immediate payment. Senator George Akume, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, made this clear after meeting with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the State House in Abuja. where he emphasized the administration's full commitment to ensuring that workers across the country receive their new wage. VOP TV's Matthew Ogunswada provides further insight in this report.
States yet to implement the 70,000 naira national minimum wage to begin immediate payment. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, made this appeal, reaffirming the government's commitment to fully enforcing the new wage standard. Speaking at the presidential villa in Abuja, Akume emphasized that the implementation is both comprehensive and non-negotiable. He highlighted President Bola Tinubu's early prioritization of the issue by establishing a tripartite committee, which included representatives from the federal government, state governors, and the private sector to address wage adjustments. Akume commended the states that have already started implementing the wage increase, with some even surpassing the 70,000 naira minimum. He then urged other states to follow suit promptly, stressing the importance of timely compliance. Voice of the People TV is on the streets of Lagos to gather public opinion on these developments.
The 70,000 is just a piece of crumbs. It's not going to get you anywhere. What do you want to do with it? A meal somewhere might last you just a few days and the 70,000 will go. So that's why you see that there is so many distortion in marriage because of what? That minimum wage is too minimal. It's not going anywhere. So the only thing I will let government to know is they should tap into the consciousness of the masses and see what they are going to. And know that that 70,000 should be like $70,000. Not 70,000 naira.
What the government is doing is not that bad, because to me they should curb inflation. It should not be that minimum wage above that 70,000. You know what it means? We are still a consuming nation, so we don't produce anything. So I think it will help government to readjust the system.
The minimum wage of 70,000 is not okay due to the costly, high cost of things in the market. Even fuel. I wish if the fuel can come down, it will help other things too, because there's a high price of the fuel that is making everything to be too high.
As the federal government pushes for the implementation of the minimum wage, citizens have shared various opinions on its potential impact on the recent economic hardship plaguing the country, while highlighting factors such as inflation, fuel subsidy, and other factors, noting and affirming if this new minimum wage will be sustainable in the long run. Matthew Ogunswada, reporting for Voice of the People TV.
Thank you so much, Matthew Ogunswada, for that wonderful report. Moving on, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has denied allegations that he initiated a lawsuit against the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, concerning potential prosecution after his term ends. This clarification was made by the state's Attorney General Lawal Pedro, who stated that Sanwo-Olu did not authorize any legal action. Pedro emphasized that there is no ongoing investigation by the EFCC into the governor, countering previous reports suggesting that Sanwo-Olu had filed a suit over alleged harassment by the commission. The governor's legal representation was reportedly made without his consent. The situation arose following claims that Sanwo-Olu had approached the Federal High Court in Abuja, but these have been dismissed as unfounded by both the governor and his legal team. Following renewed court violence in Edo State, the Benin United Forum has called on the Oba of Benin to curse those involved in the killings. The Edo State Police confirmed one death from clashes between the Aye and Vikings courts, although local sources report more casualties. The violence escalated during an unsuccessful meditation attempt, leading to retaliatory attacks. Community leaders emphasized the need for conflict resolution as one group refused to accept apologies. The network of civil society organizations has urged the police to lift a ban on local vigilante groups, claiming it has worsened crime rates, and they demand an investigation into the killings. Coming up, business and sports stories. Stay with us. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Now to some business stories. The Nigerian House of Representatives is taking steps to address the growing issue of unauthorized fraudulent deductions by commercial banks during the second reading of a bill to amend the Banking and Other Financial Institutions Act 2020. Honorable Moses Fayinka, presenting motion to Federal Constituency of Lagos State, outlined the bill's aim to protect customers from these unauthorized deductions. Fayinka revealed that in 2022, the banking industry reported over 110,000 cases of funding deductions from another 48,703 cases recorded in 2023. He noted that while the number of cases has declined, the financial impact on individuals and businesses remains substantial. Also, if the bill passes, it could pave the way for more comprehensive reforms in the banking sector, addressing issues like hidden charges and unauthorized fees, while restoring customer confidence in Nigerians' financial institutions. Still in business, the recent National Identification Number (NIN) SIM verification exercises has led to a massive decline in mobile subscriptions, with 64.3 million lines deactivated. According to the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC), two of the major operations, Globacom and Nine Mobile, expressed significant losses due to the exercise, which concluded on September 14th. Globacom, which had 62.1 million active subscribers as of March, ended September with just 19.1 million, shedding a staggering 43 million lines. Similarly, Nine Mobile's active subscribers dropped from 11.6 million in March to 3.6 million by September. MTN Nigeria, however, maintained its market lead with 78 million active subscribers, while Airtel followed with 53.7 million. But then, despite the overall reduction, a telecom expert described the verification as the most thorough yet, noting that it has effectively sanitized the telecom operators' databases. Now to some sports stories. In an impressive display of skill and teamwork, the Super Falcons of Nigeria secured a commanding 4-1 victory over Algeria in a friendly match held recently. The Falcons showcased their attacking prowess with goals from Gift Monday, who netted twice, alongside strikes from Uchenna Kanu and Esther Okoronkwo, solidifying other dominance throughout the game. This victory not only boosts the team's morale ahead of upcoming competitions, but also highlights their readiness and determination to excel on the international stage. The Super Falcons continue to build momentum as they prepare for future challenges, demonstrating their potential as a formidable force in women's football. Still in sport, in a remarkable display of talent and determination, Nigeria's under-17 women's team, the Flamingos, captured global attention at the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup. Despite their quarter-final exit, FIFA has praised the team's performance, highlighting their resilience and skill throughout the tournament. Also, the Flamingos showcased their potential, making significant strides in women's football on the international stage. Although the team faced a tough defeat, their journey has been celebrated as a testament to their hard work and dedication. The Flamingos' achievements have not only inspired a new generation of female athletes in Nigeria, but have also reinforced the country's growing presence in women's football globally. And that is it on the midday news. Before we go, let's take a quick of the major headlines. The Federal High Court in Abuja stops CBN from releasing further financial allocations to the Rivers State government. Also, Nigerians expresses concern over increase in price of PMS by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPCL). The President Tinubu set to submit medium-term expenditure framework. The Joint Action Committee of the Non-Academic Staff Union (NASU) reports that there is no official communication from the government regarding their ongoing strike. And in business, House of Reps moves to stop fraudulent deductions by commercial banks. And that is it on the Midday News on Voice of the People TV. Do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel. On YouTube, we are at Voice of the People TV. And other social media handles, we are at VOB TV Live. I am Masinachi Okafo. Have a good afternoon.